Chips. Hello, good chaps. Got a nice game today on WM Day with 6v6 domination. And I really do enjoy crumpets, but if you don't enjoy them yourself, it's completely fine. Can someone tell me what area of London that kind of sounded like? I mean, someone sent me a message saying, do a British accent, but not too posh. I don't think that was posh. I don't even know. I know you guys have crazy recognition of accents. I remember when I was in England, I was talking to this guy, and he could literally tell what neighborhood of London you were from just from your accent. And I can kind of tell the difference between the accents in Toronto, but I mean, they're not really that distinct. London, that's just crazy. Anyway, got a nice game here. I think it's 103-9 regular domination. And for all you guys out there that think I'm not good at getting 100+ kill games, I get them all the time. I just can't record live at the moment, and Ground War doesn't really save in the theater that often. Like the 100 kill game I do have on my channel is saved. It cut off, but the 100 kills saved in theater. Anyway, so I decided to go into regular domination. This is on the PS3, and these kids are really bad, so don't think it's anything special. I think I get 4 sets of choppers in this game, but I cut them all out, so it's not like I get 2 choppers and they get 70 kills each. And I mean, I think the game goes to 180 points for the other team. But that's what you really need to have a really long game in order to get 100 kills. And look at this fail. Why do they make these ledges so difficult to jump up onto? But you really need a long game to get 100 kills in regular domination. And as you can see there, I died one off my dogs. I think I died one off my dogs like 3 times in this game. I only get 1 set of dogs in the whole time. There's a few things I want to talk about though. I'm kind of feeling upset at the moment because Steve Jobs died, and wow, he was definitely a man to remember. I mean, can you think of anyone more innovative in human history? I'm sure there's lots, but in the modern times, I can't really think of anyone. He was definitely a genius. Genius among men, for sure. But, it's just, I mean, you can say what you will about him, but, I mean, he started Apple at first, and then they ended up kicking him out of the company, obviously out of stupidity, because they didn't know what they're missing. If you guys remember, I think it was like the late 90s, maybe early 90s, don't quote me on that, Apple was dying, and they brought Steve Jobs back, and then, a few years later, out comes the iPod, out comes, the MacBook, the Intel processing, and Apple's now one of the biggest companies in the world. I'm pretty sure they passed Microsoft. Not sure if they passed ExxonMobil, but if they did, they're the largest company in the world, so, that's really impressive, and this teammate scared the shit out of me, but that's really impressive, I mean, to be able to revitalize a company that quickly, I have a lot of respect for that man. It's really too bad that he had to die so early in his life. I think he was 56 or something. I'm not the kind of guy that researches this intensely. So if I say a fact, don't take it for granted. If it's wrong, then yeah, it's wrong. But I'm just going by recollection. Usually my memory's pretty good, so. Anyway, using the commando here. I actually found, I know this game's dead and you guys don't want to hear tips about it, but this red dot I'm using here, this reticle, I think it was XCal, I saw on one of his live comms, he was using this, and it's awesome, I really enjoy it. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was how I got my name. Because, to be perfectly honest, I can't even count how many people have, walked up to me and asked me, yeah, okay, whatever, have asked me, so BigBizzE, does your name mean you have a big penis? Is that what it means? Is a busy a penis? I didn't know a busy could be called. I don't even know, but no, that's not what it is. It's kind of a funny story, to be honest with you. When I was growing up, there's this kid. He's like 6'9", 260 pounds, and he used to go around the beaches, which is the area of Toronto I'm from. It's a pretty big neighborhood. He used to go around just mugging people, and not just anyone. He used to go around mugging specifically kids that thought they were gangsters themselves, like the little wankster kids. And this guy was massive. I think he was 2 years older than me. I ended up being okay friends with him, not great. I was that kid, the punk kid 2 years younger than him. But anyway, he was just absolutely huge, and it's set 12, which is my username on the PS3. Which has been my gaming name for a lot longer. It's actually because of Age of Empires 2, which is my favorite video game of all time by far. And if you've played that game, I'm sure you've played Age of Mythology. And one of the teams in that was Set. It's like an Egyptian god, because you get to play as certain gods or whatever. Anyway, that's where that comes from. But now this guy's name was Big Black Zach, and yes, he was big. Yes, he was black, and his name was most certainly Zach. Look at this kid get turned on. But
Yeah, no, he his other nicknames, like he used to be called Big Black Zach, BBZ, or BigBizzE. I don't know why his name was BigBizzE. My original name for the Xbox when I entered it in was Big Black Zach, but it was taken unfortunately, so I went with his nickname, BigBizzE. And I don't know why his nickname was BigBizzE. I'm assuming it's from some girls he might have been with. I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and make that assumption. Anyway, it's kind of ridiculous. So you know, he looking back, I don't know, he was kind of a thug, I suppose. But you know, when I was young and stupid, I kind of looked up to him. I shouldn't have, because you know the reason why I made my username after him is because I was like, damn, you know, I gotta pay homage to this guy. He's currently in jail for kidnapping. And even looking back, that's kind of stupid too. But yeah, no, he's in jail at the moment. Found out around the time I was getting on Xbox, you know, last January, February, that he's currently in jail for kidnapping. It's not like he was kidnapping 12-year-old boys or anything. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure he was kidnapping someone who owed him a lot of money, and you know, just beat him up a little bit. But if you guys were wondering where that was coming from, yeah, that's it. It's nothing too special, but it's kind of a funny story. I just remember, this happened to a couple friends of mine, but you know, this guy used to mug kids who thought they were gangsters. So you know, it's not like he's, you know, mugging, you know, innocent 13-year-old kids. And there's a funny story my friend was telling me the other day of back in grade 9, so you know, 4 years ago. My friends, you know, we used to smoke a fair bit of weed back then. I don't really smoke that much anymore, or at all, really. But back then, my two buddies walked up to this other guy who thought he was a gangster on the street, and was like, "Hey man, you think you could get us some weed?" And the guy's like, "Sure, give me your money." So they gave him $50, and he just started walking away. And now this kid was like 2 or 3 years older than them, so he was a lot bigger. They couldn't really do much. So the guy just started walking away, and then, you know, 5 minutes later, BigBizzE, aka Big Black Zach, walks up to them and is like, "What the hell did that guy just do to you, yo? Like, what was his problem and shit?" And they're like, "Well, he just robbed us of $50." So then DBZ was just like, "All right, guys, don't worry, I'll get it back for you." Like 10 minutes later, you just see him walking up the street with this other kid who took their money in an arm lock, just being like, "Was this the guy?" And they're like, "Yeah, it was." And they're like, "All right, you can spit on him, do whatever you want now." And they're like, "It's all right, bro. Just give me the money and we'll be good." And he got the money back for them. It's kind of a funny story. So I don't know if that makes them sound more righteous, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, this is wrapping up. These kids are all extremely bad, as I'm sure you can see, just killing them over and over again. But I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I got a nice little COD 4 game coming up next video, so peace.